Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to your Ashtanga practice for today. I hope you're feeling vibed, I hope you're feeling ready, and I hope you're ready to rock and roll today, because we're about to get a bit of heat going through these beautiful vessels of ours today, and hopefully we can drop a couple sweat drops, maybe one or two, just one for the crowd, and the crowd goes, welcome today. I hope that this practice brings everything that you need to bring into your space right now. I know that there's a lot going on right now with regard to the oxygen converting into CO2. The wind's probably, just making that process flow a little bit, making it a bit unsteady. So don't worry. We're here to calm the winds, we're here to calm the waters, and we're here to flow with the heat. So with everything that is going on through all the beautiful elements of Mother Nature, we're about to bring it into one. And we'll allow ourselves to expand, release, and grow. Let's do this. So slowly come into a nice, comfortable seated position. And just slowly allowing yourself to melt away into your mat as you draw through that beautiful connection, as you allow yourself to be and slowly starting to draw through those magical feelings of allowing yourself to, bit by bit, connect to who you are in this practice, and where you are at your practice right now. As we take a moment to acknowledge the past and the future, and simply placing it on the outside of the sphere that we've created in the space that we're about to venture down right now, drawing into this beautiful present moment. Slowly drawing through a deep inhale and just sighing it all out. Magical cleansing breath. 2 more rounds, inhalation, and just letting it go. Last one, inhale, and letting it go. Slowly drawing your hands to heart center. We're going to open our class with the opening invocation, and thereafter a chant of Om. Vande Gurunam Charana Ravinde Sanda Shita Swatma Sukha Bhavode Nishre Yase Jangalika Mane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankha Chakrasi Dharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Inhale for Om. Namaste and welcome to your Ashtanga practice. May it flow, may it be fruitful, may it be prosperous, and most of all, may it make you smile. Namaste. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go through our warm-up. And thereafter we're going to go through a bit of the standing series, and I'm going to incorporate a bit of the seated series today. So we might miss out parts of the standing series just so that we can lengthen through our practice and become a bit more familiarized with the primary series. So don't worry, I'm here. I'm going to help you enjoy every bit of this experience today. So first things first, smiles up, guns out, and let's get the flow on. Beautiful. I hope you're feeling good today. I hope you've had a magically epic day, because each day that we have right here, right now, no matter what we're doing, wherever we are blessed. We find gratitude in all that we do and everything that we do. Okay, so first things first, coming up to the top of your mat, standing in Tadasana. Just making sure that your alignment's in check. Big toes touching, slight gap between your heels. Or gap, just making sure that it's there. Having a look down. A little micro bend in your knees, tilt in your hip bone. Just allowing your shoulders to drop. You know, the term we like to use is depressed. It's not about being depressed. It's just about allowing the shoulders to drop down. Keeping your head straight, allowing your gaze to follow your drishti, and allowing it to absorb. And we're going to roll through Surya Namaskar A 4 times. And we're going to roll through Surya Namaskar B 3 times. Inhale. Drawing your hands up towards the heavens. Exhale to fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Slowly releasing your hands down to the earth. Either jump in or step in right foot and then left. Holding your high plank. Slowly releasing your hands forward. Coming and rolling through Chaturanga Dandasana into your upward facing dog. And moving back to down dog. We're holding here for 5 breath cycles. So just taking the time to roll your legs out, allowing your calves to feel a bit more stretch, a bit more freedom, a bit more movement. Maybe just rolling over your toes, over your hips. Just finding that space, releasing into those arms, spreading those fingers as far wide as possible. And just holding here for 2 more breath cycles. One more. Your next inhale, looking up to the top of your mat, either jumping or stepping forward. Coming up to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Releasing those hands down, bending those knees if you need to. Allowing your head to hang heavy. Inhale. Drawing your arms up beside you. And coming back to center. Okay, 3 more rounds. Inhalation, drawing those hands, feeling the movement, flowing. Exhale, drawing them down towards the earth, towards Mother Nature. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, releasing those hands, either jumping or stepping back, rolling through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Activating your Ujjayi breathing as you take your gaze towards your navel or behind, and just finding your space of center, finding what you need, and just allowing it to be. Just raising your perineum as far up towards the earth, and just releasing into your flow, your freedom, and your fire. Holding here for 1 more. On your next inhale, join into an inhale, looking up to the top of your mat. Either jump in or stepping forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Slowly drawing all the way back up. And releasing your hands beside you. Magical. Roll through in it for round 3. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Releasing your hands down to the earth, either jumping or stepping back. Rolling over your toes, arms at 90 as you come up to Urdhva Mukha Shavasana and releasing back to Adho Mukha Shavasana. Just breathing into the spaces, breathing into your knees, breathing into your ankles. As we find more space, we find more freedom. Holding here for 2 more breath cycles. Inhale, looking up to the top of your mat. Either jump in or step in forward. Coming up to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, releasing your hands up beside you. And coming back to your center. Last round. Inhale. Taking your gaze up. As you exhale, releasing over your hips, hands to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Drawing your hands down, either jumping or stepping back. Rolling through your Chaturanga Dandasana. Just remembering to listen to your body if you need to go and use knees, chest, chin. Allow yourself to do so. Slowly drawing back to Adho Mukha Shavasana. Focusing on your Ujjayi breathing as you find space. One more breath cycle. Inhale, looking up to the top of your mat. Jumping or stepping forward, coming up to halfway lift, releasing your hands down to the earth as you fold. Inhale, drawing your hands up towards the magical stars and bringing your hands through heart center as you release and let go. That is so beautiful. Okay, 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar B. Hope you're feeling slightly warm. Halfway through our warm-up, it's time to push on and push through. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, releasing your hands to the earth, either jumping or stepping back. I'm dropping knees, chest and chin now, just to show you the variation. Coming into baby cobra. Tucking toes, releasing back to downward facing dog. We're here for 1 breath cycle. Inhale, right leg up, drawing it through heart center, placing, grounding back foot at 45, coming up into Virabhadrasana 1. Embracing the warrior within you, embracing your warrior spirit, drawing it through the air, bringing it back down to the earth. Releasing right leg all the way up, bringing it down. Rolling through your vinyasa, coming through Chaturanga Dandasana. Into Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. And releasing back to Adho Mukha Shavasana. 1 breath cycle. Inhale, left leg all the way up. Drawing it through center, back foot at 45, hips squared off to the front of the class, allowing those arms up, holding them, embracing them, feeling the power and the energy between your hands, drawing them back down to the earth, stepping left leg all the way up, bringing it back down, flowing through to your high plank, and Chaturanga Dandasana. Magical. And slowly moving back for 5 breath cycles as you recenter,
into your resting posture. Three more breath cycles. Inhale, looking up, jumping, stepping forward, coming up to halfway lift, releasing your hands to the earth. Uttanasana. Inhale, coming up to Urdhva Tadasana, and back to Tadasana. Join in a deep inhale. Just allowing the shoulders to draw down as we prepare to go into our next sun salutation. Inhalation, exhalation. Inhalation, exhalation. Hands down, either jumping or stepping back. Flowing through. Inhalation, upward facing dog. Exhalation, rolling over your toes, downward facing dog. Holding for one. Next inhale, right leg all the way up with momentum, bringing it forward. Placing back foot, opening hips up, engaging. Virabhadra, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale. Inhale, drawing your right leg up, bringing it back down. Flowing through. Up dog. Release and exhale to down dog. Inhale and release. Inhale, left leg. As you exhale, place, ground, root, engage and grow. Hold, allow the wind to flow. As the wind flows, release your rein to the earth. Drawing your back foot all the way up towards the sun and drawing it back down to earth. Flow. Chaturanga Dandasana. Coming up to upward facing dog and releasing back to down dog. We're holding here for 5. Three more breath cycles. Inhale, looking up to the top of your mat. Either jumping or stepping forward, coming up to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Uttanasana. That was Urdhva Tadasana, coming back to Tadasana. Last round for our warm-up. Hope you're finding yourself nice and warm, nice and relaxed, nice and fresh, and ready to flow. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Releasing your hands, jumping or stepping back. High plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Holding for 1. Inhale, right leg. Flow. Ground. Engage. Hands up into the air. Releasing your hands back to the earth. Drawing right leg all the way up and back down. Flowing to high plank. Releasing through Chaturanga Dandasana. As you inhale up to upward facing dog. And releasing back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg. Drawing it through, grounding, hips squared off, hands towards the sun. Embracing your sun salutation through the warrior spirit and drawing it back down to Mother Nature. Releasing left leg all the way back up, drawing it down to the earth, flowing towards your high plank, Chaturanga Dandasana, and releasing back to downward facing dog. Holding here for 5 breath cycles. Focusing on your Ujjayi breathing. Inhale, looking up to the top of your mat. The jumping or stepping forward, coming up to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, releasing your arms up wide, overhead, coming up into Urdhva Tadasana, and releasing back to Urdhva through to Tadasana. Drawing through a deep inhale. Exhale and let it go. Beautiful. Hope you're feeling nice and warm, ready to go. Entering the boxing ring, climbing through. Left jab, right jab. I hope we're ready to go. If we're not, we'll wait 1 more second and then we'll go. All right. We're going to start with our standing series. Coming to the tops of our mat. Legs, hips distance apart, taking hands to your hips. We're going to go with our peace fingers coming into Padangusthasana. Inhale, elongating through your spine. As you exhale, shifting over your hips like a waterfall, connecting your peace fingers towards your big toe. Releasing your head, allowing it to hang heavy, allowing your arms to flop out. And if you need to bend into your knees, allow them to bend. Holding here for 3 more. On your next inhale, releasing your hands. We're going to place our hands underneath our feet, coming into Padahastasana now. Allowing your elbows to flop out if they can. Holding for 1 more. And your next inhale, releasing your grip from underneath your feet and mindfully coming up vertebra by vertebra. Allowing your head to hang heavy, come up last. Big toes touching, resetting back into Tadasana. Drawing through a lash inhalation and just allowing it to release. Okay. Coming back to the top of our mats, we're going to turn to face and lead with our left foot coming through from a side-on position now in a wide-legged stance. Turning the left foot to face the back end of where we're at. Inhale, opening arms out wide. As we exhale, what I want us to do is simply release forward and hinge over our hips. Releasing left hand towards 6, right arm all the way to 12. Drawing your gaze up to 12, coming into Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Trying to extend that distance between both hands as you extend that energy center towards the earth going down and the heavens going up. Holding for one more. On your next inhale, drawing up to center. Turning left foot in, right foot out. Inhale. As you exhale, hinging over right hip this time. Releasing right arm to 6, left arm to 12. Drawing your gaze up towards the ceiling. Just focusing on your breath. Allowing the uncomfortability to draw in and draw away through your exhalation. Holding here for another 2 more breath cycles. On your next inhale, drawing up through center. Turning right foot in, left foot out, drawing both arms beside you. We're going to revolve our triangle pose now. If you need to use a block, just placing it on the outside of your left foot right now. Inhaling right arm up towards the heavens. As you exhale, placing right hand on the outside of your left foot, opening up your left arm and engaging in the revolution of your triangle. We're holding here for 4 more breath cycles. Two more. Just engaging. 1 more breath. And as you exhale, releasing, coming back up to neutral. Turning left foot in, right foot out. Placing your block on the opposite side of your right foot this time. Going to lead with our left arm this time. Inhalation, left arm up. As you exhale, bringing it to the outside of your right foot, opening right arm towards the heavens as you allow your heart center to open and pour out towards the universe. Holding here for 4 more breath cycles. Focusing on your Ujjayi breathing as you lengthen and deepen through your inhalation and exhalation, and engage for 1 more breath cycle. As you inhale, coming back up to neutral, releasing your feet back to reset at the top of your mat into Tadasana. Drawing in an inhalation and exhale to let it go. We're going to lead with our left foot again. Back foot at 45 grounded, front and foot forward, knee at 90 degrees. We're going to come into our side angle pose, leading with our left hand. Inhale. As we exhale, placing it on the inside of our left foot. If you need to use a block, placing it underneath, slowly opening up to 90 degrees and slowly moving it over and further towards the front of the screen. As we hold here for 4 more, finding length through your strength, through the warrior that you are, the earth warrior, the rainbow warrior. Holding for 1 more. On your exhale, releasing your hand. On your inhale, coming back up to neutral. Turning left foot in, right foot out. Finding your alignment and balancing, coming into that 90 degree. Onto your right knee this time. Right hand lead, inhale. Exhale, drawing it down towards the earth. Opening that arm up to 90. And slowly flowing it forward towards the back. Finding that beautiful diagonal line. Finding your breath. Holding it. Smiling through it. And we're going to be here for another 15 more minutes. 1 more breath cycle. On your next inhale, drawing back up to neutral, Turning right foot in, left foot out. We're going to revolve our side angle pose, going through the variation today. So we're going to draw our hands to heart center, turning our hips to face the back. And we're going to connect our right elbow towards our left knee. And slowly opening that heart center up by pushing both hands towards your heart, taking your gaze over your left shoulder. Holding here for 4 more. One more. As you exhale, drawing back in to neutral, turning left foot in, right foot out, 90-degree angle, making sure that those hips are squared up to the front. Inhale, drawing hands to heart center. And as you exhale, connecting your left elbow towards your right knee, opening up, pushing those hands towards your heart center, gaze over your right shoulder. In this moment, finding the love, finding the gratitude towards you, your vessel, and the universe. Just trying to go a little bit deeper, taking that gaze a little bit further back. Holding for 2 more. On your next inhalation, drawing back up to neutral, releasing to the top of your mat. Back into Tadasana, drawing through a lovely fresh inhalation. Exhale, letting it go. Just taking a moment to close your eyes. As we just take this moment to set an intention. Set an intention to find something different, something new, so that we can expand and grow. Slowly planting that seed of intention into the ground. And slowly covering it up as we allow the rains to pour, to water it, allowing the sun to expose itself upon your plant, upon your tree, upon your foundation of growth. And slowly opening your eyes, opening your legs out into a wide-legged stance, taking your feet to a 45-degree angle. Excellent. Okay. Again, foundation. Activating calf muscles, quadriceps, hamstrings, glutamus maximus. All in one motion. As you inhale, pull them up, tighten. Great. Try and wiggle forward. Cool. You can't move. That's where we need to be. And slowly from here, we're going to come into 2 variations today of our Vasarita Padottanasana. What I want you to do is take your hands to your hips, release them behind as we come into a 90-degree angle. Beautiful. Just maintaining that posture, feeling that chest puffing out, feeling that slight back bend, and feeling your shoulder blades contract. Drawing through a deep inhale as you elongate through your spine. As you exhale, going over the waterfall, releasing your head, just making sure that those hands stay in place. We're holding here for 4 more. Just breathing through. One more breath cycle. And on your next inhale, drawing up to center, releasing your hands.
Just drawing out your knees just to feel a little bit of tension release, shaking it out. Excellent. We're going to come into the third variation, but our second and final for Prasarita Padottanasana. So taking your hands behind your back, interlacing and clasping your palms, drawing it as far down towards your buttocks as possible, making sure that you're engaging your root structure into your foundation of your mat. Chest popping out, feeling that slight minor back bend, enjoying it. Just maybe catching a smile, photograph over there, snap, snap. You're on the cover of your own You magazine, you being you. No pun intended. Okay, drawing through a deep inhale. As you exhale, releasing over that waterfall, drawing down, allowing your arms overhead, head hanging heavy. Inhale. As you exhale, allowing your arms to further themselves forward. Holding here for 2 more. Just a little bit more extension of your hands overhead. And slowly on your next inhale, drawing up through your hips, taking your hands there. Just bending into those knees. If you're feeling slightly dizzy or lightheaded, just finding a bit of space and where you're at right now, drawing through a deep inhale, setting the intention to find your center. You guys can't see it right now, but there's a fly right by my head. I'd love to swat it. But we are practicing mindfulness. He's in my space, I'm in his space. Thanks for coming and joining us today. Whatever your name may be, good sir. Okay. Drawing your feet back in, resetting at the top of your mat back into Tadasana. Excellent. We're going to inhale now, drawing our hands up towards the earth, flowing through. Coming up to a halfway lift. After you fold over, releasing your hands down towards the earth, either jumping or stepping back, flowing through your Chaturanga Dandasana, all the way up into upward facing dog, and releasing back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg all the way up towards the heavens. As you exhale, bringing it forward, placing it between your hands, grounding your back foot, squaring your hips off to the front of your mat, and releasing your hands towards the universe. Drawing your gaze forward, and we're going to hold here for 5 breath cycles. So just finding that perfect formation for where your body is sitting right now in Virabhadrasana 1, and just engaging into that warrior spirit. Imagining yourself covered in armor right now, whatever armor that may be. Maybe it's metal, maybe it's earthly products, whatever it may be right now. Just covering yourself in what you feel would be the most ultimate image of you as a warrior. As you hold here for 2 more. 1 more breath cycle. As you exhale, drawing your hands down, turning your feet to the opposite end as we prepare to go into a warrior 2 on the opposite end. Again, hips squared off now to the back of your mat. Inhale those hands up. Making sure that that front knee is at 90 degrees, hips are squared off. Feeling the flow, feeling the fire, and feeling your fierceness, your strength, your will, your power. You are one with the earth is one with you. Holding here for 2 more. As you exhale, drawing your hands down, turning right foot in, turning left foot out. Getting your heels to be in alignment as we prepare for warrior 2. So coming into that 90 degrees into your front knee. Inhale, both arms out wide. Taking a gaze forward, taking a gaze back, making sure that both arms are in alignment.
And then slowly dropping the shoulders. Gaze forward over your middle finger, and we're holding here for 5 breath cycles. Just focusing on your breath. Holding here for 1 more. Turning left foot in, turning right foot out. Crisscrossing the alignment of your legs. Pressure into the left knee this time. Gaze over front hand, back hand, alignment check. Dropping those shoulders. Warrior 2 on the opposite side. Holding here for 1 more. And the next exhale, drawing your hands down, drawing them to the back of your mat. Stepping left foot all the way back up towards the heavens, drawing it back down to downward facing dog. And from here, we're going to find a seated position. So again, right leg towards left hand, left leg towards right hand as you come to seated. Beautiful. Okay, so while we're down here, welcome to the seated part of our class today. We're going to roll through a couple postures in the seated series, just so that you have more of an idea of what we do and what we do going forward. Welcome. So first things first, we're going to come into Dandasana. So making sure that your feet are stretched out right in front of you, activating those calves to make sure that there's a slight gap between your heels and the earth. We're going to place our hands beside us, but we're not going to push into them. We're just going to leave them beside us so that they are literally placed. Drawing up through your core, drawing up through your spine, drawing up through a massively beautiful inhalation. And we're holding here for 5 breath cycles. 4 more. Holding here for 1 more. Hour. Get in. And as you exhale, release and just let it go. Shaking it all out. This obviously feels a little bit different, but at the end of the day, this is how we should naturally be sitting in our chairs, in our cars, and when we chill on the couch watching telly. But unfortunately, we love a little bit of comfort in life. So just enjoying that feeling. I know sometimes the magnitude of how we process when we go into a posture, sometimes it makes us think about how we relate it to our real life. And sometimes we judge that process a little bit. But moving away from that judgment is literally telling yourself that you're enjoying where you're at and you're feeling every vibe that you're feeling right now. So take it in, hold it in, and enjoy it. Okay. We're going to come into Paschimottanasana now. So extending your feet forward. If you've got a strap with you, you're more than welcome to use it to place it around your feet. We're just going to come into one variation of it right now. So what I want you to do is draw through a nice deep inhalation. And as you exhale, folding forward, peace fingers towards your big toes. If you need to bend your knees, allow them to draw up away from the mat. And slowly allow yourself to hug yourself into your knees. And we're holding here for 5 breath cycles. We're holding here for 3 more. As you inhale, just finding a little bit more length through your spine. And as you exhale, finding a little bit more depth through your hips, through your legs. As you release a little bit more forward. Holding here for 1 more. On your next inhale, releasing all the way up. So I've mentioned prior in classes before that
The the standing series is my most favorite because we don't have to flow through vinyasas. When we get to the seated series, we actually do need to flow through vinyasas. So literally doing a chaturanga from left to right, from each posture to the next. So that is what we're going to do right now. So what I want you to do is find a little cross between your legs, rolling over, placing your hands, drawing your feet back, coming up to downward facing dog, drawing forward to high plank, releasing through, coming up to upward facing dog.
Exhale, releasing back to downward facing dog. We're holding here for 1. Slowly looking up to the top of your mat. And from here, we're going to find seated. So either using the crisscross that I showed you earlier, or if you can, a little bit of a jump forward,
Jump through, and coming back to seated. So what we're going to come now into is Purvottasana, which is basically our counter pose to our Chaturanga Dandasana. We don't do it that often, but sometimes it is a good tool to use just to allow our bodies to find that equilibrium between all the Chaturangas that we do in Ashtanga. So what I want you to do is placing your hands directly underneath your shoulders, allowing your feet to point forward, and we're going to draw up through our hips and through our core. And we're going to do this 5 times. Normally we do it once, but since we're here and we've done quite a few Chaturangas today, we're going to inhale up, exhale to release down. So using your core and your hips, inhale, exhale, let it go. Inhalation, exhale, let it go. 2 more, inhale, let it go. Okay, last one, we're going to stay up for 5. So on your next inhale, prepare, inhale, and we're holding here for 5. You can allow your head to hang heavy, drawing your gaze up towards the stars. Just making sure that you're focusing on those hips, raising them up as far as you can, pointing those toes forward. You're holding here for 3 more. 2 more. Last breath cycle. And slowly releasing all the way down, crisscrossing your legs. I'm going to maneuver over. Placing your hands down, stepping right and left. Flowing through Chaturanga Dandasana. All the way up. And back to downward facing dog. Holding here for 1. And your next inhale, looking up to the top of your mat, either jumping or stepping forward to find a seated position. And coming back to seated. Okay. What we're going to come into next is called Triyamukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. You may want to use a block for this to place underneath, to sit your buttocks on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to demo it first now. What you're going to do is extend left foot forward and take your right foot back. Okay, so if your seat is not both positioned onto the floor, I'd suggest using a block. If you're comfortable, simply allowing it out. What I'd like you to do is take all the flesh that's sitting on your thigh, pulling it out, on your calf and pulling it out that way, so that we extend and release a little bit more tension out of that area. It might be a millimeter, I promise you, but it makes all the difference. You've got one of 2 options. So either you're going to inhale, drawing forward, or we're going to draw back, coming onto our elbows. And if you'd like to, if you're within your practice today, you're taking the full variation and releasing your whole body down towards the earth. Okay. But this can only happen if your knee stays down. If it isn't, like where it is positioned for me right now, we need to come back up onto our elbows. Okay. So drawing up through a deep inhale, finding the variation of your choice. And as you exhale, if it's coming onto your elbows, drawing backwards,
If it's releasing forward, folding over, and just making sure that you're keeping those front toes pointed, taking your gaze up towards the ceiling. We're holding here for 3 more. On your next inhale, drawing all the way up, bringing your knee in, just giving it a bit of a massage if you need to, crisscrossing, and we're going to roll through our vinyasa. Stepping right and left foot back, holding high plank, rolling through your Chaturanga Dandasana, coming up into Urdhva Mukha Shavasana, and releasing back to Adho Mukha Shavasana. Holding here for 1. Take a nice deep lush inhalation in as you exhale. Inhale, looking up to the top of your mat and coming to find seated. This time round, we're going to go with the opposite side. So extending right leg forward, bringing your left leg to the outside. If you need to, please use a block to place underneath your buttocks. Again, drawing the flesh out from our thighs and our calves, just finding that extra millimeter of tension release. Finding stretch through our front foot, inhale, and finding your variation, choosing the same option that you chose on the opposite side. You might feel a nice stretch through your knee, and just being mindful of where you're at and how you're feeling. Holding here for 1 more. Slowly propping yourself back up from where you were, or drawing yourself up from your fold over, bringing your knee in, just giving a little bit of a hug, a little bit of a massage. Crossing your legs over, rolling through as you roll through your vinyasa. High plank, drawing over your toes, arms at 90. Coming up, if you need to use the variation, please make sure that you're listening to your body and releasing back to down dog. We're holding here for 1. Looking up to the top of your mat. And we're going to find seated again. Beautiful. What we're going to do now is we're going to come into Navasana and Talasana. What happens is we roll through them 5 times. So just to explain Talasana to you, you're more than welcome to use 2 blocks beside you to help you lift. If you don't have any blocks, that's fine. I just wanted to show you guys a little quick something, just to make sure that you know whether you have short arms or not. So right now you can see where my hands are and I can't actually touch the floor. So anatomically, I have short arms. So it kind of makes it a little bit more difficult for me to pick myself up a little bit, right? So if I have to pick myself up off the floor, I might have to use my legs and my core a little bit more. So basically, what it is placing your hands beside you, using your core and releasing your whole torso up. If you're not at that point yet, that's okay. So like I said, either using your blocks, taking your hands beside you, and we're using our legs as well. So we're pushing ourselves up, using your core, hold, and release. Okay, so we're going to do that each time we go through Navasana. We're just going to hold Navasana for 1, come into Talasana, and go back into Navasana. Okay, so from here, extending your feet forward, readying your core, releasing your hands up, holding for 1, inhale, and exhale, release, bringing your knees in, and we're coming up into Talasana, and letting it go down. Inhale, Navasana, exhale, release, Talasana. Beautiful. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. Coming into Thalasana as you come up and come down. Legs back up, using your core, hands out in front. Exhale, release. Coming into Thalasana. Beautiful. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale, crisscross and up. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Drawing all the way up and down. Beautiful. I hope you're ready. I'm sure you're slightly sweaty now. I'm sure we could probably go for another hour, maybe 2. But we're at that place and that time of our class right now where we release and let go and fly away to another place in that spaceship called Shavasana. So slowly, just releasing your feet forward, extending your arms out, using that core, taking a nice lush inhalation. And as you exhale, using your core, bringing you all the way down. As you take a moment to release your breath, extending your feet beside you, allowing your palms to face either up or down. And slowly allowing the energies that surround you to filter and flow, like the river, like an ocean. We are one with the earth. Bringing that flow into the center of your heart as that energy pours into you, your vessel, your mind, your body, and your soul. And finding that spaceship and releasing to wherever you need to go right now. Slowly and gently allowing the energies to recenter into your body through each chakra,
Just imagining each light turning back on, all the way from crown to root. Slowly finding movements of your thumb across your fingers and gently wriggling your toes. Finding rotation through your ankles and your wrists. As you start to draw in a deep inhale, drawing your arms up and overhead, stretching your feet forward, and just sighing it all out, letting it all go and letting it all be. Inhale, bringing your knees to chest as you engage yourself in the biggest hug ever, filling yourself with tonnages of love, light, and magic. As you slowly roll over onto your right hand side, resting your head upon your bicep. Sharing in the gratitudes between you and your mat for the journey you've taken this afternoon, this morning, or maybe this evening. And slowly propping yourself up into seated position. Drawing your hands towards heart center. I'm going to close off the class with the closing chant. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalya yantam na yagna magena mahim mahishaha go brahmayabhya shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sokino bhavantu. Inhale for Om. Thank you so much for allowing me to teach you today. May you find all the blessings, may you find all the love, may you find all the laughter around you and within you. Namaste.